Let me get on to my next subject because that involves the Los Angeles Lakers. We got to head west and discuss the future of the Lakers, whose season ended Monday night at the hands of Jamal Murray and the Denver Nuggets yet again. I'll get to LeBron himself in a moment, but I want to focus on the team and the front office first. Back in January, former Laker big man Shaquille O'Neal questioned whether players like LeBron and Anthony Davis actually listened to head coach Darvin Ham. He's been under fire for his in-game rotation, substitution patterns, and even his reluctance to start certain players. This we all know. But then the Lakers go out here and they lose. And when they lost, this is what we've got to look at right now. We got Darvin Ham's in 2 seasons, 90-74 record, but 9-12 in the postseason, okay? 2 playoff series wins, but losers get swept in the Western Conference Finals against the Denver Nuggets. Okay, comes back this year, advances to the first round after being a playing team, okay? And then he ends up losing in the first round to the reigning defending champions. They ended the season, they lost 12 of their last 13 games against Denver. I know this was a competitive series. I know the Lakers could have easily had game 2. They were up 20. And when Jamal Murray hit that game-winning jump shot over Anthony Davis, let's not forget they surrendered a 20-point lead. The Lakers did that. And you saw Jamal Murray and you knew that Austin Reeves wasn't going to be able to stop him. And so now we have no choice but to look at the Los Angeles Lakers for what they are. You got LeBron James. He's approaching 40. You got Anthony Davis, who's in his mid-30s. Played more games this year than he ever had in his career with 76. And you still end up going home in the first round. Austin Reeves has improved and can play, but can't guard much. D'Angelo Russell, don't get me started with his ass. This brother went scoreless in game 3. Scoreless. After hitting 7 3-pointers in game 2, the brother went scoreless in game 3. Not a point. He scored as much points as me and you. That's what he did. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, yeah, Vanderbilt was hurt and their defense was compromised. And yeah, you got to look at the personnel that they had in place, the Torian Princes of the world and others, the Gabe Vinces of the world who wasn't available for 99% of the season. But in the end, here's the reality of the situation for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James is approaching free agency, looking to get the bag and looking to get an additional 3-year deal. Anthony Davis is locked in. You locked in Austin Rivers. D'Angelo Russell's got a player option. He can choose to opt out, and the Lakers will have no means to replace him, or he could choose to opt in, which is a question mark because he knows that the Lakers are going to look to trade him for additional assets. And he may want to dictate where he gets to go as opposed to opting into his contract for $18 million and thereby being at the mercy of the Los Angeles Lakers, who can send him wherever they want to send him. So you're the Lakers. You're in a rut right now. Here's what I'm appalled by. Who the fuck says it's time to get rid of Darvin Ham? How you going to blame him? That's some straight bullshit. Let's just get it out the way right now. When you talk about Darvin Ham has been a coach in the National Basketball Association as a head coach for 2 years. He's lost to one team. That's the Denver Nuggets. I'm sorry, there's shame in that game. They're the reigning defending champions. They've got the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic. When Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray on the court together, that's the best two-man tandem in basketball. They pick and roll you to death all day, all night long. Aaron Gordon is no scrub. Michael Porter Jr. has elevated his level of play. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a guy that helped the Los Angeles Lakers win a championship before you foolishly let him walk out the door along with Kyle Kuzma and Alex Caruso so you could bring in Russell Westbrook, who couldn't get nothing done for you in a Lakers uniform. That's what happened with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I know Kyle Kuzma has been in purgatory in the nation's capital, but we know he's a 6'9" dude who can chew. We know what Kentavious Caldwell-Pope can do. And we know good and damn well that if that was Alex Caruso out there defending instead of Austin Reeves, you might have had a better shot at stopping Jamal Murray. But that is not what happened. And because that is not what happened, the Lakers are home. How's that Darvin Ham's fault? If it's Darvin Ham's fault, how come it ain't Rob Pelinka's fault? Now, I'm not advocating for any of them to get fired. But if you want to talk about replacing coaches with a better coach, how about replacing Rob Pelinka with a Bob Myers, who won 4 rings in Golden State? I can tell you right now, that's his dream job. He'd love that job. He ain't going to politic for it. He ain't going to be some snake going around behind closed doors trying to undermine Rob Pelinka or anybody like that. But he is a basketball executive with Southern California roots. Who wouldn't want the Lakers job? I'd consider the Lakers job. Who wouldn't? So let's be honest here. If we're going to talk about Darvin Ham being gone, why aren't we talking about Rob Pelinka? And again, I'm not advocating for Rob Pelinka to be gone. I'm simply saying you can't look at the coach who don't have the personnel and have to sacrifice offense for defense or defense for offense whenever he was working through his rotations and then turn around and let Rob Pelinka off the hook. Can't do that. Can't do that. And I don't want to hear about some story like I saw, I think it was in The Athletic, where they talking about how, well, you know what? A player during the Lakers-Clippers game, players had to come and tell Darvin Ham this wasn't the right thing to do schematically. Try this, try this, try that. That happens all the time. The fact of the matter is, when you're looking at Darvin Ham in the rotations, y'all, coaches listen to players all the time. They have a suggestion, players have a better suggestion, they go with the player. There ain't no reason to talk about how this man need to be fired. But I would pay attention to what Magic Johnson had to say. And here's what Magic Johnson had to say with these tweets. Laker Nation, we have a problem. All the good teams in the West are young and talented. The Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, and the Mavs. And the biggest elephant in the room is the Spurs, who with Victor Wembanyama will definitely be a playoff team next season. I think Magic Johnson needs to be drug tested on that last part. Spurs are not making the playoffs next season. Not that soon. For the Lakers to compete with all these teams, the roster must improve, he continued. The Lakers have nobody but themselves to blame. They wouldn't have been in the play-in game or finished as a 7th seed this season if they hadn't lost too many games because of load management. I don't know about that either. Anthony Davis played 76 games. LeBron James played 70 games. That's more games he ever played as a Laker. That's more games than Anthony Davis ever played in his career. I don't know he's talking about load management there. But I get his point, though. And then Magic continued. And the number one reason the Lakers can't beat Denver in a 7-game series is because the Nuggets are mentally and physically tougher than the Lakers. Well, that's true. That's true. But I don't think that's applicable to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think that's applicable to the rest of the Lakers. It's applicable to the rest of the Lakers. That's all I wanted to say about that. Because I'm so thoroughly disgusted, it's hard to put into words. It really, really is.